Okay, number one, my center. Opposite sign, positive 7, negative 8. This is review. This is not the first time you've seen this. Okay, my measurement is 16, so I have to take the square root of 16, which is? Holy cow. Wow. Yep. Okay. Okay, number 3. Write an equation. Centered, negative 1. So my x minus h, so it's opposite sign, that's a plus 1. And y minus 5. And has a length of 6, the radius, so 6 squared or 36. I don't care which one you put. Okay, number 5. Rewrite this circle in standard form by completing the square not once, but twice. Okay, that's your problem. Okay, so that means completing the square, I take b divided by 2 and square it. My b for the x, 8 divided by 2 and square it. So that means I get 4 squared, which is 16 for the x's. My y's, my b is 32 divided by 2, square it. That's 16 squared, which is 256. So add 256 to both sides. I forgot to add the 16. Okay, so I get x. Let's see, I got a plus 4 here. And the y's, I've got a y plus 16 and negative 271 plus 16 plus 256. Let's see, that would be 260, 72. Oh, 1. There's nothing wrong with my printer. A little bit of oil. There is. I will bet you any amount of money there's nothing wrong with my printer. You got it. Are you ready? You want to bet on this? You're going to owe me for the rest of your life. Huh? Oh, factoring. This is easy. Okay, the only way to get x squared is x times x. That's a minus. So one of these has to be a positive. One has to be a negative. My factors of 36. 1 times 36. 2 times 18. 3 times 12. 4 times 9. 5, 6 times 6. Okay, and I'm going to have my handy-dandy little yellow flow chart with me tomorrow. And I'm going to circle all my perfect squares. Let's see, 4, 9, 36 is a perfect square, isn't it? Oh, wait, no, I don't need perfect squares. I don't need that until I'm solving the other section. Okay, so let's see. One's positive, one's negative, so I'm going to be subtracting them. So they need to subtract these and equal 5, right? Negative 5. So 4 and 9. Which one's positive? 3. And 9 is negative. So it's got to add up to negative 5. So I set each one of these equal to 0. And what does my x equal? Yeah, that's right. -4 and +9. Number 9 is even easier because it is because I have to subtract 4 from both sides. I have to get x by something. Number 9 is even easier because it's a difference of squares. I have 11x squared, or 11 squared x squared, minus 6 squared. Okay, the base is 11x plus 6, 11x minus 6. Set each one of these equal to 0 to figure out what x is. So I have 11x plus 6 equals 0, and 11x minus 6 equals 0. It would be 6 over 11. Well, negative 6 over 11 for this one. So I get 11x equals -6. Divide both sides by the coefficient of 11. And x equals -6 over 11, or -11, 6 11ths. Hey, what's the other one going to be? Positive 6 11ths. Very good. Shut up. Yeah, they're graded. I'm not going to put them in Skyward till I get your other quizzes, though. All right, number 11. I think 80% of you are still getting this wrong. What do I have to do first? Yes, Truth. I can't hear you because Ethan's. Just do it.
Different equations.
You have to divide what? 5x. I get x plus 2 equals 0. I have to pick out the common factor first. If you look on your yellow cards, that's the first step. Set each one of those equal to 0. No, x. X. Okay, divide by 5. Divide by 5. So what does x equal? Nope, 0. Actually, it's on the back if you want to. All right, subtract 2, subtract 2. So x is going to equal -2. Any questions on page 1?
Yes.
What?
Well,
Don't know. All right, number 13. No, he can't. He's just got some serious issues. Okay, this is where you're going to have to figure out the factors and solve by square rooting. So I'm going to square root. Why am I going to square root, you say? Because it's going to cancel out the power of 2. So I get x equals plus or minus the square root of 72. Am I done? Nope. This is where you have to come up with the factors of 72 and find your largest perfect squares. 1 times 72, 2 times 36, 3 times 24, 4 times 18, 5, 6 times 12, 8 times 9. I think that's it. Okay, my largest, I'm going to look at my yellow flow chart because I can use that on the quiz tomorrow. And I'm going to circle my perfect squares. 9, 4, 36. Yes. So 36 is my largest perfect square. That's a factor of 72. So I'm going to put this as plus or minus the square root of 36 times the square root of 2, because those are the factors. Yes. So plus or minus, what is the square root of 36? Square root of 2. There's my answer. Correct. It's not the largest perfect square. You're going to have to do it twice. Yes, otherwise you have to do it at least 2 times. If I use 4, I have to use it 3 times. I have to do 3 times the work.
A perfect square.
Yeah, just look at it and do the math in your head. All right, you know what? Let's use photomath. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. See it on the quizzes. I don't care. What? We're recording here, so be careful. What? That's why you would have to do it again. That's why you want to use the largest perfect square. All right, number 15. That's right, I have to divide by 2 first to get the x squared by itself. So I get x squared equals 24. Square root both sides. Let's say I'm going to have to do this again. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. I think I only have one perfect square here. So x is going to equal plus or minus square root of 4 times the square root of 6, which equals plus or minus 2 square root of 6. Because I didn't want to print a third page. Use a sheet of paper. Huh? I can't hear you because there's too much talking. Yeah, I have to get the x squared by itself. Okay? And to do that, I have to, because it's being multiplied by 2, divide by 2. 17. Again, I have to get the x squared by itself, so I'm going to subtract 1 first. Subtract 1. I get 2x squared equals 26. Now I'm going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. This one actually is going to be easier because what happens? X squared equals 13. I get 13 as the prime number. I don't have to reduce. Square root both sides. I get x equals plus or minus the square root of 13. Number 19, I have to get x squared term by itself. This one's a quantity, so I have to get the quantity by itself. That's right. Multiply by 1/4 or divide by 4. Yep. So I get x minus 2 squared equals 5. Stop that. That's annoying. Stop it. Then I got a square root first. Square root cancels out the power 2. Now that I can drop my parentheses. I get x minus 2 equals plus or minus square root of 5. That's nice because I don't have to simplify. There you go. Add 2 to both sides. So my x is going to equal 2 plus or minus square root of 5. And then 4.6, completing the square. Okay, so they want us to come up with the perfect square. That's what C is, right? These are perfect square. To do that, I take my B divided by 2 and square it. In this case, it's 20 divided by 2 squared, which is 10 divided 10 squared, which is 100. That's my C. Kind of like me yesterday. How does it feel? Now factor it. So I have my x plus 10 squared. All right, number 24. What? 20. No, not 24. 23. Solve. So what does solve mean? Did I skip something? Oh, I took my b divided by 2 squared. That's c. That c is my perfect square that I'm adding. So half of 20 is 10. 10 squared is 100. What do you mean the order? That's my 10. 20 is my b. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the formula. B divided by 2 squared. Yeah, that's the formula. Yeah. What? Leave me alone. All right, 23. Shut up. Leave me alone. 23. Solve. What does it mean to solve? Get x by itself, right? The variable by itself. Okay, so I'm going to complete the square. So the first thing I do, quiet, minus 8 from both sides. I get x squared minus 10x. Remember, we're going to complete the square. So we're going to find that C, that perfect square, equals negative 8. Don't forget we have to add that perfect square. Okay, half of b, negative 10 divided by 2 squared, negative 5 squared is 25, so I have to add 25 to both sides. What? Okay, so I get x minus 5 squared equals negative 8 plus 25, positive 17. I have to get x by itself. So I'm going to square root both sides so that the radical cancels out the power of 2. I get x minus 5 equals plus or minus the square root of 17, which is nice. A prime number, I don't have to simplify. Plus 5, plus 5. And what's my answer? Wonderful. Did it? Any questions on that one? Yes, Rico. Ethan. Yeah, I used the formula for this. Why are you guys talking? Stop. Follow-up questions? Yeah, A is the coefficient of x squared, which is 1. B is coefficient of x, which is negative 10. My C in this case is 8. Because 8 is not a perfect square. I want to make it a perfect square trinomial. And 8 is not a perfect square. Okay? The only way I can get a perfect square is to do that formula. B over 2 squared. Okay? All right, my last problem. Yes. Use fractions. Yeah, we try not to use fractions when we're teaching it for the first time, especially for the first time. We used to do it, but it confused students too much. Huh? Okay, let's do, I have a request. Instead of 25, we're going to do 26. Okay, put it in vertex form. What's vertex form? Y equals A times quantity x minus h squared plus k, right? All right, so again, I want a perfect square trinomial. So I'm going to give 7 is not a perfect square, so I'm going to get it to the other side. I'm going to subtract 7, subtract 7. So I get what? Oh, I'm sorry. Y minus 7 equals x, I wish I could, x squared minus 10x. These cancel out, but I am going to find a perfect square, and I'm going to have to add it to this side too. Should have left myself some room. Okay, my b is negative 10. Divide by 2 squared. Negative 5 squared, which is 25. 25 here and 25 here. Okay, on the left-hand side, y minus 7 plus 25, 18. So I have y plus 18. Shut up. Equals. Let's see. Backward form, x, you never will. Minus 5 squared. And I have to get my k. See my k over here? I have to get this k over there. So I'm going to subtract 18. And my final answer for $1 million, y equals the quantity x minus 5 squared minus 18. And kids, that's the notes. Yes, sir. Sure, you can take a picture of this.